Welcome everyone to beautiful Super Bowl in Canton for the exciting opening rounds of the Bowling Showcase Challenge. I'm your host Mark Martin, and I'm glad you'll be joining us for this exciting competition. First off, let's thank our host center, Super Bowl. Come and check them out sometime. Okay, now on with the bowling. Over the next 15 weeks, you're going to be watching 16 teams from various bowling centers go head-to-head in single-game elimination rounds until the final two teams square off and a champion will be crowned. Now these 16 teams are divided into two regions named after our respective host centers, the Super Bowl region and the Mary Bowl region. So we start this competition with 8 teams in the Super Bowl region going head-to-head in a Baker format single-game elimination tournament. Each bowler on a team bowling one frame, then the next team member taking the next frame, and so on. Now at the conclusion of the 5th frame, teams are going to swap lanes and continue to finish the match. Now at the end of the match, our winning team will then move on to the next round of the regional competition and await the winners from the other first round matches. So we start with 8 teams in the region, then 4, and then finally the winner of the last regional match will earn the right to represent Super Bowl in the final season-ending match of the championship. Overall, start with 16 teams, divided into 2 regions, and we end up with one Bowling Showcase Challenge champion. This week's match features Airway lanes going up against Sterling lanes. Airway, they returned from last year, and Sterling, they bowled back in year 1. Should be a very exciting and entertaining match. So there you have it. I'm going to move into position, get a better view of the action, but we'll be right back with the start of the match after these messages on Bowling Showcase.
Won a lot of professional tournaments. We won a lot of tournaments worldwide. I mean, we won more in the last 10 years worldwide than any company. We make good bowling balls, and good players use our bowling balls because they can win with them.
The Bowling Centers Association of Michigan is a nonprofit trade organization that protects, promotes, and advances the interest of its members and member centers. It is the only association in Michigan affiliated with the Bowling Proprietors Association of America. Benefits include group purchasing programs, tournaments, annual convention and trade show, education seminars, and legislative representation. Interested in becoming a member? Contact Bo Gergen at 989-600-0992 or visit mibowl.com.
Hello and welcome to Super Bowl Lanes. My name is Doug Saleski, General Manager here at Super Bowl. And on behalf of our employees and management team, we would like to welcome everybody to this year's Bowling Showcase, Super Bowl Lanes Regional. At this time, we would like to turn it over to Mark Martin from the Metro Detroit USBC. Take it away, Mark.
Welcome back to Bowling Showcase Challenge. With me today, as you've been all along, Sandy Schultz, Hall of Fame bowler, Women's Series champion. Welcome.
Thanks. Good to be here.
Yeah. This week we have Airway lanes and Sterling lanes. Both have competed before with different players. I don't believe any of these players competed previously.
Well, maybe the team camaraderie might blend together, and
they're all brand new to our television show.
Good.
So we'll see what happens as we move along with this match. But Airway lanes and Sterling lanes. First up for the Airway lanes team is Talia Harden. Goes by the name of Pookie. She coaches for the Waterford Mott High School bowling team, as many of our bowlers do.
A lot of them do. Good for them. She came a little bit high. She left the 610. She'll shoot probably, I'm assuming she'll shoot that from the left side, cross lane with maybe a plastic ball. Although we've seen in past episodes that some of them, the old timers, are using their strike ball.
That's right.
They knew what they were doing.
Looks like she is too.
Okay.
So just flatten that hand out and throw it across lane. High average of 198. Started bowling at the age of 14.
Oh, she chopped it.
Oh,
That can happen with even a plastic ball, so.
true. Hey, leading off for the Sterling Lanes team, Jeremy Ouellette. Been bowling for 31 years, high average of 218. With a name like Ouellette, where do you think he was born? Windsor.
Oh, right across the border.
Yeah, he currently lives in Warren.
Oh, he came a little high, too. He's got the 3.610. This is a little
3.610.
bit harder than what she left. Looks like he's going to grab his plastic ball, his spear ball. So he'll go straight at it.
So thanks to community bowling centers, Super Bowl is part of the community bowling centers chain, and Sterling Lanes is representing
Good spear.
good spare. Sterling Lanes is representing the community bowling centers in this competition. The second up for the Airway Lanes team, Larry Quince, just simply goes by the nickname of Q. He's a night supervisor at Airway Lanes and put the team together.
Oh, he got his
Nice
first
strike.
strike of the match.
First strike of the match. Nice delivery by Larry. 40-year bowler.
You know, the captain of the Sterling team isn't even bowling. It's Jim D'Ambrosio.
Yeah, Jimmy D.
He put the team together, and he's not.
He's sitting on the
competing,
sidelines
he
there,
is.
kind of cheering his team on, though. Brian Stella, high average 223, been bowling since the age of 10.
He came a little high. We've had a lot of shots come a little high so far.
And he bowls without his thumb in the ball. Got that wide open split, that 6-7-10 split.
Yeah. It is makeable. He's got to just touch the 6 pin on the right-hand side. Oh, he doesn't like it. He missed them all. Sometimes getting the pin count's important, and he knows. You could tell by the look on his face.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, when he was converting that, his thumb was still out of the ball on the spare.
Yeah, that's amazing. A lot of times the people that don't use their thumb on their strike shot, they do that for more roll and more hook.
Here's another coach of the Waterford Mott team.
Oh, that's a good shot.
Christy Kerr.
4 pin.
Good shot. High average of 214. Been bowling for 20 years. Interesting fact about Christy. She went to Western Michigan University and had a class with Danny DeKaiser, defenseman for the Red Wings.
Oh, that would be exciting. Oh,
She made it.
She almost missed it.
That's right.
Gave us a little thrill there.
So Kim Casbar lives in Warren, high average 201. Used to be a bowling coach also.
A lot of coaches in this match. Good shot.
Good shot by Kim. Now Ed Kerr's up. Ed is Christie's brother, representing Airway Lanes. Started bowling at the age of 4 with a high average of 230.
Wow.
His first 300 game came as a senior in high school. Left the 7 pin.
He's smiling. I'm not sure why, if he thought that was a good shot or not a good shot.
Well, I don't know. It looked like it, but it looked like it kind of came in kind of late,
It came
too.
in, yeah, it did.
Interestingly enough, Ed can bowl either right-handed or left-handed.
Oh, that is interesting.
Good cover. This match is moving right along. Andy Boyd up next. High average 224. Been bowling for 18 years.
Wow, what a powerful
Nice
shot.
strike. That's a double for the Sterling Lanes team. Gets him right back in the match, puts them in the lead. Now Matt Coleman lives in Waterford, high average 239. Wow. Interesting, didn't even start bowling till the age of 21.
So he was well out of high school.
Yeah, he was the late comer, but has obviously progressed very well in this game.
A lot of bowlers today start young.
Ooh.
left the
4-6-7 split.
that is almost impossible to try and get that four pin to slide over into the 6.
Yeah, especially for a
He's got to
right-handed
try and
bowler.
get the 2 pins. Just like that.
Yeah, just get the count, right?
Yeah.
The anchor bowler for the Sterling Lanes team, Chris Langer, lives in St. Clair Shores. Started bowling at the age of 15 with a high average of 230. I think he's our first left-hander we've seen in any of the competition.
A lot of pin action.
Kind of pulled that one a
Kind of
little
pulled
bit.
it, yep. He could be a little bit nervous.
Could be. I was watching him warm up. He was doing the same thing. So just hasn't quite got the rhythm or something.
Yeah, maybe he just needs to stay down on the shot. He might be coming up. When you come up on a shot, you tend to pull it. Just stay down with the shot, get it off your hand.
Right.
Sometimes you're a little anxious, you pull up. That was better.
Okay, good cover there. So Sterling Lanes has a 19-pin lead at the break. 74 pins for Airway in the 5th frame. Sterling has 73 in the 4th and a spare up in the 5th. What do you think so far, Sandy?
Airway just needs to try and make good shots, continue to stay focused, and play their own game.
Well, Q had a good strike in there.
Yep, 5 frames is still a lot to do, and anything can happen in the next 5 frames.
Right, and we've seen that.
We have seen that.
Seen matches go back and forth, and we'll be right back after these messages with the conclusion of the match after the teams switch lanes on Bowling Showcase.
One word to describe our team, competitive. I think we all have a competitive heart. I think we're ready to give it all we got, and I think that we're going to win. So this year's team, we all bowl at Airway, but we also all have bowled at several other houses. Most of us bowled in high school, so we had the opportunity to travel around Michigan and bowl in several different alleys. I'm a coach for the high school team. My brother, who's on the team, has also been a coach, as well as my bowling partner, Talia. She was the JV coach for a high school team, so we have a lot of experience with teaching and with bowling. I think our chances are pretty good. I think we've got a good shot here. I think everybody's ready for the competition, and we're really looking forward to competing with some great bowlers.
The Michigan State USBC Bowling Association provides tournament competition to all levels of bowlers. Competition includes the Michigan State Open Championships at Fairlanes in Granville and Westgate in Comstock Park. The State Masters and Senior Masters will be at Astro Lanes in Madison Heights. Visit mistatebowl.com for entries for these tournaments and more information. The Michigan State USBC Women's Bowling Association provides recognition and tournament competition to all levels of women bowlers. Competition includes the Women's State Tournament, this year in Waterford, the State Queens in Mount Pleasant, and the Midwest Women's Tournament in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Recognition includes first-time 300 game and first-time 6, 7, and 800 series. Visit MichiganWBA.com for entries for these tournaments and more information on women's bowling.
Crazy. I think they're a bunch of fun guys, you know, they like to have a good time, and I think it should work out real well. I think that both of them will work good together. It should be a good competitive team. Strong. Because I think I got some good bowlers to keep us going. I put a lot of my good bowlers to start off with, and our strongest bowler at the back, so I think I got a good chance of winning this competition, you know. I feel that way. Because from the 2 years ago, the team I put together, I upgraded a little bit, you know, and try to be more competitive.
Okay, we're back with Bowling Showcase in our 3rd week of competition in the Super Bowl region. We've got Airway lanes and Sterling lanes. The teams have switched lanes. Sterling's got a 19-pin lead through 5 frames. What do you think, Sandy?
Sterling, if they want to win this match, they just got to keep maintaining their marks. They're doing fine. They have had an open, but that happens, and they were able to capitalize on that after the fact. So they just need to keep maintaining what they're doing, stay calm, make good shots.
Okay, we'll see what happens because Jeremy Ouellette's coming up for Sterling right now. Sterling with that lead. It's nice to start the second half of the match when you've got the lead, because then you can kind of...
It's a little bit of relief, yeah.
Kind of have the opportunity to put the hammer down as opposed to pressing.
Especially with changing the lanes, because you don't know how the lanes are going to play differently. Oh, he got that 10 pin out. He almost left a 2-8-10.
Yes.
2-8 is a lot easier to make than with the 10 pin. He's just got to try and make sure he gets that back pin. We call that a sleeper.
Well, you know, he made the adjustment because he had left the 3-6-10 back in the first frame. So even though it's a different lane, I wonder if he made an adjustment.
He might have
or
over-adjusted.
Or it was just the lane.
Don't know.
That's right. You know, in this very short format, it's tough sometimes.
It is tough. We talked about, there you go, good spare. We talked about in the past how each lane doesn't always play the same. And so when you only get one shot in each lane, you have to make sometimes an educated guess.
Right. Well, they did have a couple balls of warm-up on each lane, prior to the show. So we're hoping they went to school well.
And if they talk together amongst each other, he can help give a heads up on what he thinks happened.
Tell you hard.
You see, she came a little high.
Yeah, left a 3-pin. She left a 3-10 back in the first frame. So
it's almost the same shot then.
Almost the same shot. That's right.
Easier spare though.
Yes.
Yeah, one of the best things you can do in a Baker format is just to talk to your teammates. And if you make a good shot, you can help give them a little bit of insight as to what happened with the shot. If you didn't make a good shot, you can't read the lane properly. So you have to make sure you make a good shot, come back, tell your team, I made a really good shot, it just didn't hook as much.
Right.
And then your next player can make the proper adjustment.
Right. Okay, Brian Stella, our thumbless bowler, got a couple of 300 games to his credit. 223 high average.
He came late also. I'm wondering if that lane is tighter this week.
It could be. It could be. Hey, Sterling has still got a lead. So they're got a 16-pin lead.
Just got to make the spares.
That's right.
No need for them to get pressured to throw strikes at this point. He fell off the shot on his feet a little bit, but still maintained the spare shot.
Okay, so next up for Airway is Larry Quince, Q, again the night supervisor at Airway. Threw a strike back in the second frame. Let's see what he does here. He got a little tight too.
Yeah. 4-6-10. He's got to get 2.
Got to get 2.
Yeah, running out of frames, but if he gets 2 and they can catch a double, they can get themselves right back in this game.
Right. You know, I mentioned earlier about the only left-hander was Chris Langer. I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, he's...
These are the first.
He's on that side. Oh, he almost gave that a run.
Well, Airway's got 99 through 7. Sterling has got 110 through 6 and a spare up in the 7th. Looks like we've got a little bit of technical difficulty here.
I think something's out on the approach.
Something's out on the approach or out on the lane there. Mark Hertcomb, Metro Detroit USBC director's out there kind of making sure that, that everything's taken care of. Thanks, Mark. So Kim Kasbar for Sterling. Remember back in the third frame, she threw a strike.
A little bit light.
Ooh.
We call that a bucket. 2-4-5-8.
Yep. 2-4-5-8.
Just move a little bit right. You can play that right off your strike shot. If you use the same ball, just move your feet a little bit right. Let it hook into it.
Yep.
The scary part is if you chop it, that would take all the pins off except the 5, which is common. Good spare.
Good cover by Kim.
Good job.
Very nice. And Christy Kerr up right now for the Airway Lanes team on lane 58. Back in the third frame, she left the 4-pin.
Oh,
And she
knocked
tripped
it out
the
this
4-pin
time.
this time.
Just barely. She came a little bit high, but got that break.
Yep, she tripped the 4-pin.
That's a start for that team. If their next bowler can throw the double, it's a close match again.
Andy Boyd from Sterling threw a strike back in
Powerful player. Not the 2-8. It does look like that lane is playing a little bit tighter than the other lane.
It does. I agree.
The oil could have carried down a little further after their practice shots, which would mean the ball wouldn't hook as early. It would break later. Good spare. Way to
Good cover by
maintain.
Andy. Hey, Ed Kerr, it's critical now that Airway throw a strike.
This is an important shot.
Ed's got to throw a strike here, otherwise could be sayonara.
But being the fourth player, I'm assuming he has experience in this pressure situation. Oh, he got a Brooklyn.
Well, that's a double for Airway. Nice little smile by Ed there, like
That's fun.
like an oops.
Yep, oops.
But it worked.
Probably not what he wanted to do, but they all
Nope.
fell.
Yep. So,
Gave his anchor bowler a good chance now.
so Sterling has the opportunity to close this match out because the max score for Airway is 189. Sterling can go to
Oh,
they can go to
great
194 if Chris here strikes out. So they have 164 in the 9th, strike up in the 10th. This is the key shot right here for the Sterling team. Strike here will get them, will seal the deal.
guarantee a win. They can move on to next week. Good shot. You know, he
Good
really
shot.
took his time in his approach, which is I would call that an experienced anchor player. You don't want to rush the shot. You throw your timing off, so he made a really good clutch shot there.
Well, Chris Bolden College is Central Michigan.
Oh, he does have experience then.
11 800s, 20 300 games, and a high series of 825.
That's enough. Good finish.
So
Nice game.
192, that closes out the Airway team. But guess what? Matt Coleman's going to make a run at it anyway.
Yeah, he's not going to give up no matter what.
No way. A couple of big splits for Airway just kind of sunk their ship.
Yeah, we always say you got to try and maintain the spares, but when you leave that 4-6 or 2-8-10. Oh!
What took that one out?
We call that a late fall for the 10 pin, a messenger.
You bet.
Messenger is the pin that slides all the way across the lane and knocks off that 10. It was a late messenger, but he got it.
That's right. It's always good to go out on a good note, even if you do lose a match or a game or like in your league. It's always
You know, it's all about learning. If you learn something from each time that you're out there, all you can do is advance from there.
Right.
He's going to get out his spare ball. Try to make the spare with a ball that doesn't hook across the lane.
Spare here will give them 177. Again, Sterling has already won the match, so.
Good
Good
job.
spare, good spare. So this match is over. This is week 3 of the challenge. Sterling Lanes 192, Airway 177. What do you think, Sandy?
Last week's match was high scoring,
Yes.
close game.
Yes.
This week's match was low scoring and still close. So it was anybody's game. A couple of bad breaks for Airway.
Right.
So it was a close match. They bowled well.
Okay. Well, we'll be back right after these messages with Jessica Tyler interviewing the winning team, Sterling Lanes and Jimmy D. I think we'll be out talking trash, or maybe not. We'll see. Right after these messages on Bowling Showcase.
Metro Detroit USBC, your source for everything bowling in the bowling capital of the world. We support USBC certified league and tournament competition. We provide 11 tournaments for all members of our association, including men, women, youth, seniors, scratch, and handicap competition. The top reasons for belonging to the Metro Detroit USBC are having your average recognized, bonding of league funds, rules of the game, assistance in resolving league issues, equipment standards of the game, charities, and awards. Visit us at mdusbc.com.
All right, we're here with Team Sterling Lanes, who just defeated Team Airway, 192-177. This here is Jim. Hi, Jim. How are you doing?
Just fine. I think our team did a very good job in the match, hung in there tight, gave them a good battle.
Thank you. Overall, you guys did a great job. Anybody feel like they carried the team today? Team effort. That's a great answer. Thank you, guys. Good luck for the rest of the tournament. Back to you, Mark.
Thanks, Jessica. You know, she's right.
She is right.
And I like the way the team rallied when asked who was the key person, Kim Kasbar.
It is a team effort,
It
but
is.
Sometimes they rely on one maybe a little more than they want to, but it was a great effort. You know, they made 6 spares in that game. They caught a couple doubles, made their spares, and I think that's what gave them a little bit of few pins advantage.
Okay. Well, next week, we'll be back with the final match of the first round of the Bowling Showcase Challenge. Vision Lanes and Mayflower Lanes. And it'll be interesting. Both of them have been here before. Both of them, Vision lost last year in the first round, but Mayflower has gone deep into the tournament before, so we'll see what happens with that. Look forward to seeing them next week.
Yep,
Sandy, thank you again for your help.
My pleasure.
And we'll see you next week on Bowling Showcase.